Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation. Today, me and my groupmate, Lelina and Nur Ashikin, will present about what we have discussed in Tech Home Task Week 8. So this Tech Home Task will consist of 4 questions, and I will start with question number 1, which is what is the difference between the uses of can, cool, and would you mind in asking question, and which one is considered more polite? So first is uses of can. Can has been using as a modal verbs and usually used to express ability and informally used to ask permission. For example, the question is, can you speak clearly and can you repeat the question? Next is uses of cool. Cool is used to express possibility, and it can also be used in giving suggestion to someone or making it more polite request. For example, is could I ask a question, please? And could you tell me the exact address, please? And the third one is uses of would you mind, which is it used to question as a in a polite way of asking something that could be annoying or offensive. The example is, would you mind if I ask? And would you mind to repeat your question? And which one is more polite is we can use cool or would you mind to ask question in interview. And for question 2, can the interviewee ask question to interview using the job during the job interview? So yes, and it is recommend to you to ask your interviewer relevant and thoughtful question, and it will give you a better understanding of whether the position is right or suitable for you. It also shows that interviewer that you have a interest in that position. So the example of the question is, what are the characteristics of someone who will you hire in this role? And if I were in this job, how will my performance to be measured? Next, I will pass to Nelina.
Okay, thank you, Opilia. So my part is for question 3. Find the appropriate question to ask the interviewer. So for example number 1, the question is, can you tell me more about day-to-day responsibility of the role? So by asking this question, it lets you learn as much about the role as possible, and the interviewer response will provide insight into what skills and experience are needed to help you to decide if the position is proper for you, and the answer that will give you an idea of the employer's expectations. So if you are offered the job, there should be no surprise when you start. And for example number 2, the question is, how could I impress you in the first 3 months? I think this is an excellent question to ask at the end of a job interview, because it shows that potential employer that you are eager to contribute positively to the organization. And it also means that you pay close attention to the recruiter response, and it will tell you how they want you to perform and highlight particular areas of the job that you should be focusing on during the first few weeks of employment. So moving on to the third example that I have chosen, are there opportunities for training and progression within the role or company? So by inquiring about development opportunities, demonstrate to the interviewer that you are serious about your career and committed to a future with the organization. And asking this question will also help you to assess whether a long-term job with the company is a possibility, or if you would need to move on to gain further responsibility. And for the next question that I have chosen is, can you tell me more about the team I will be working in? This will help you to understand how the company is structured, who you will report to, and the department the role sits within. And these are the people that you will work most closely with So it's worth finding out about the team dynamic and working methods. And depending on the response, it may also allow you to mention any experience or success that you had working in similar teams, which is to give the employers one final example on how well you will fit in if you get the job. And the last question is, how do you help your staff grow professionally? When asking this question, it shows that you are interested in staying and growing in the role, and also tells you if and how the organization invests in its staff. I think that's all from me. I will pass to Shikin. Thank you.
All right, Nerina, thank you. Okay, next. This is the last question, which is question 4. Find information on the appropriate ethic during a job interview according to the situation given. So there are 5 situations that all the applicants will face during the interview. So the first situation is waiting for an interview in the waiting room. All right, for the first point is, in this situation, the applicants need to be calm. Yes, everyone is nervous about the interview, but it will be easier for us to answer all the questions when we step into the interview room, when we in the peaceful mood. Okay, the next point is to stay on schedule. Be punctual because this is very important to the company that is hiring the applicant. So this is their first impression about us, whether we can follow their schedule or not. Okay, then rehearse the answer to frequent interview questions. Okay, you can recap all the answers to the common question when the interview asking, like, why do you need this job? Or what makes you suit this position? And etc. Just to be prepared for the answer and make it suitable for ourselves. Okay, and next, remain silently and avoid disturbing others by making noise. Okay, do not make any noise and try to avoid when we cough or sneezing in several times. This is to give the interview to observe how confident we are. Okay. Next situation is situation 2, entering the interview room. First, knock on the door. Okay, just knock on the door nicely, and it is very encouraging to knock in 3 times. Then, show our gesture by smiling and greeting. So this is our first time move by showing our positive gesture by smiling and greeting nicely. Like if we are Muslim, we can greet them by using our religion, saying Assalamualaikum and hello. After that, close the door gently and then keep your head up and bring your chest up when entering the door. This is important to show your posture, and stride will assist you in projecting professionalism and confidence. Okay, next. Situation 3, sitting in the interview room. Sit only when you are commanded to. So sit only when you to show our respect when they are asking us to sit well, to avoid being rude. And next, be courteous when using the chair and sit comfortably but politely. Okay. Don't try to cross our legs or any posture that looks unprofessional. It is best to sit straightly and not lean our back on the chair. Okay, next, pay attention to the interviewer guest. Do not wide our eyes by observing any spot in the office, and please focus and hear the question when the interviewer asks. Okay, next, situation 4. Maintaining gesture and posture during the interview. Okay, do not lean back in your chair. When sitting, do not cross your legs. All right, just like these 2 points that I mentioned in the previous situation 3, then use body language wisely. It's better we use our hand to explain what we need to say, and maybe this tips for us to avoid so much nervous. Okay, next, avoid rubbing your eyes and touching your nose. And then when listening to the interview, not your head. Okay. The last situation is leaving the interview room. If the interviewer leave the floor open for questions, only that applicant may ask them. Please avoid asking rushingly, and we need to be patient when the interview open for asking them. After the interview, return the chair to its previous spot. And then we bow and smile. By showing this gesture, that we are very appreciate and respect to the interviewer. Okay, next, appreciate the interviewer for their time by saying thank you for the time to interview with you. Okay, lastly, if needed, to say farewell, and be sure to shut the door behind nicely. Okay, that's all from us.